Hi, this is Kim, and today we're going to try winter sowing seeds. You can do this in the cold part of the year. No lights required, no gnats, no fuss. You just put your little tiny greenhouses out in the snow and the ice, and they grow the seeds like Mother Nature would. Now, I've collected clear and translucent milk jugs here and collected a lot of seeds: cypress vine, cosmos, alyssum, flax. I want some hollyhocks. That'll take a couple years. Some soapwort. That looks good in hypertufa things. Foxglove. I really want a lot of foxglove this year. There's a lot of areas that I want to reseed this year with new plants. I don't want to pay the amount. Now, these are things I've collected all year. I've used a lot of distilled water. That saved the time and trouble of cleaning the milk jug. I've saved some ice cream things with tops. But basically what you just have to do to get prepared is to punch holes in the bottom of all your containers. And if you use a box cutter, you just kind of slice about halfway down the bottle all the way around. You only have to do this on the bottles or water bottles, whatever you use. My ice cream bucket has a lid, so you only have to take the lids on and off those. But with those holes and everything ready, you're good to go. So, there's our container. There's the hinge. And then our lid. Now you'll need to prep your bottles and ice cream buckets, whatever you're going to use, with soil. So be sure to put all your soil into a big tray, bucket of some kind, and mix it with water so you have a good moist soil mixture for the seeds. Now I'm doing it like Laura on Garden Answer did. I've already got the seeds poked. I'll show you more about that later. I'm sorry, the holes poked. But I put a coffee filter in there to keep the soil from falling out. And then you just kind of gather it up. You want 3 or 4 inches deep of soil so that when the roots start forming, they have a lot of room down there to grip the soil, get nourishment, etc. And again, you'll be discarding the lids. You don't need the lids. If you don't cut all the way through the milk jug, you kind of have a little hinge top that you can use. And then just be sure, whatever seed you're going to plant, write the name on the jug so that you don't forget. You can't really leave that seed packet in there. So I find it best to just write the same name on a stick, a popsicle stick or plant marker, to put inside of the jug too. Just slide it right down by the side. And then you're basically good to go. You can line those up and get ready to plant. Now, this is a way I've done before. Don't do this. That's not safe at all. Okay, I've got one of my milk jugs ready. I've got the name on the outside. I've also got the name on the inside, and we're ready with the soil. It's moist, slightly moist, and what I'm going to plant is hollyhock seed. Here's the hollyhock seed, and this is a pretty big seed, as you can see. It's big enough so that I can see where I'm putting it. So let me just put it on this dish, and then I am going to take each of the seeds and kind of place them around. I'm only going to do about 8 or 10. I don't know if you can see those in there, but I don't want there to be too many, because I have had the danger of way too many seeds. Let me see, I think I could squeeze a few more. Here we go. I'm going to put that one. Now that hopefully will have about 10 seeds. 10 seeds in there so that we can know that we're covering them up. Now, since the hollyhock says cover to a depth, it'll say on your package, cover to a depth of about 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to take one of my little sticks and just kind of press it down into the soil. Each one going down a little bit. You can see. Now, ordinarily, since hollyhocks self-seed, they'll sink into the soil themselves. You don't need to worry too much about that. I think I got them all. And then I'll just kind of press the soil around. And now once they're in there, and you saw I planted about 12. Now, the hollyhocks in particular, these are ones that are, I think the word is biennial. They will make a plant next year, but they won't make a plant that will bloom this year. It'll have to be another year, but I've got to get those started. And then the lids on these milk jugs, we remove those. You don't need the lid. We'll just discard those. And snow and rain and moisture can get in here. Now let me find the end. Here it is. And I am going to get some scissors and I will just tape this shut. Just right around that seam. You just have to press it in because you do want it loose enough that you can remove it because you'll be pulling it off to check on it sometimes, especially when the plants start growing. So here we go. Got that around. Oops. Let me tilt it slightly upward. And little areas like this, don't worry, that'll just let extra moisture in. So there is our pot, tiny little greenhouse, all ready to go. And then later, if you have a dry spell, got one of these little cans with the little sprinkle end, just sprinkle a little water down in there. I don't have any water in here right now. And then these will go right out on my porch. So I'll probably go between the porch and behind the barn, but I've got about, 12 more of these to do, and I'll be good to go. It's cold outside today, icy, sleety, and snowy. Perfect day to get these out. Not that I'll go out in it. Now you can see here on the foxglove plant, it's packaged. It's another perennial that I'm planting. But right here on the back, the reading says, may start seeds indoors following a storage period in the refrigerator of 4 to 6 weeks. So that's a perfect example of something that is going to work well in these winter sown seed greenhouses, because right there is its little refrigerator. It will stratify itself. So I'm going to get all of my bottles already labeled and lined up out here, and then wait for the cold and wind to start blowing and have all my pots ready in their little greenhouse containers. And we'll start looking for plants. Maybe little seedlings will sprout kind of in mid-March, late March. And by the time the spring comes, here in Ohio, I think our last frost date is usually early May, mid-May. I'll have some pretty big plants to put in my borders. So easy, no gnats, no lights, no worries. I hope you'll try this. If you don't do but just a few jugs to see how you like it, I think you'll really be pleased with winter sowing. But I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.